gentlemen, we are here now live in the College of Education to witness a debate between the two opposing teams. In the debate entitled, "Is the two-party system in the British Parliament is best suited in the Philippine setting?" Now, we have now here the affirmative side. You are now required to give a 3-minute introduction statement to your side.
Alright, good morning everyone. Today is time for you to introduce the primitive side of this topic. The two-party system in the parliament system is best suited in the Philippines. This system is characterized by the dominance of the two major political parties that has been a cornerstone of the United Kingdom's political landscape. As we go through from this topic, we will explore how the two-party system contributes to political stability, clarity in the choices for voters, and accountability for the parliamentary process within the Philippine setting. This is not a political statement. It's about understanding the importance and benefits of having a two-party system in the Philippines. And these are the following to begin with: political stability. With only two major parties, it becomes easier to form coalitions and build a working majority in the parliament. This stability ensures a smoother governance and avoid the often chaotic and good luck scenarios that we have witnessed in the multi-party system. For a country like the Philippines, which faces numerous challenges, political stability is very crucial. Number two, clarity. Having two dominant parties provides voters with good choice between two distinct political ideologies. This clarity minimizes the confusions and helps citizens make informed decisions when it comes to casting their votes. In the Philippine setting, where are numerous political parties vying for power, the two-party system could simplify the political landscape. The third one, the accountability. In a two-party system, the parties have clear positions and any decisions taken can be attributed by one another. This transparency increases accountability, and as citizens can easily evaluate the performance of each party and hold them responsible for their actions. This can help in breaking the cycle of corruptions and insufficiency that often plagues government around the world, including the Philippines. So by adopting by this system, the Philippines can still ensure that minor parties have a platform through proportional representation on other bills, giving everyone a voice while maintaining the advantage of two-party system. And by adopting by this system, this country could streamline the political landscape and create a stronger and more effective government and clear the way for sustainable progress. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, representative from the affirmative side. Now may I call on the representative of the negative side to now present their rebuttal against their statement. You have 1 minute.
We stand in the idea that adopting the two-party system of British Parliament in the Philippines is not a good idea. Here's the three main reasons why. Number one is lack of choice. We all know that we are in a democratic country, but we have limited choices who can be won in the political positions like in a two-party system. And the other one is the lack of representation. We all know that small parties might be hard to get a political position because we all know the system might be won if they are bigger, if they are influential, and the last one is polarization, the divisions. We all know that when we have divisions, there are different kinds of opinions, perspective, and ideas. And that's all.
Thank you for the representative from the negative side. Now, may I call again another representative to now present her 3 minutes statement why you are opposing that the two-party system is best suited in the Philippines setting.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed audience, we gather today to discuss a matter of significant importance, one that goes beyond borders and relates to the core principles of democratic governance. Our focus centers on the parliamentary system, specifically the prevalent two-parliamentary system in the in the British Parliament. While this system has demonstrated effectiveness in certain contexts, it is crucial to explore its possible drawbacks when considering its implementation in a diverse and a dynamic political landscape like the Philippines. Our aim is to highlight the downside of the two-party system and assess its potential challenges in the Philippines. Fostering a thoughtful conversation on the complexities of the parliamentary government and the essential need for a system that aligns with the unique challenges of our nation. A single country obtaining various types of people with different stances and viewpoints would be hard to manage. We all know that in the British Parliament, two existing political parties are all to represent themselves in the Congress, both with different ideology, which we think is not a good implementation, which we think is not a good indication of a country having peace and order in the government. First, labor group aiming for the idea of community. They tend to push the idea that a country should maintain its equity in terms of status, wealth, and income. For them, everyone is expected and supposed to share the wealth which they create for the living. Also, they guarantee minimum standard of living for everyone, including their income. Conservative group, however, aims to promote democratic accountability for everyone. A British unionist which hinders Wales, Scotland, and Ireland from having their own independence. This only means that having two street groups in the government may have a negative effect, especially in the decision making of the welfare and the security and the concern of the people. A decision that favors and may not be favorable to another, which could lead to chaos and conflict. And that's all. Thank you.
Now, thank you, the representative from the negative side. Now that the two opposing teams are giving the introduction and the battle about each other's statement, we are now going to proceed to the constructive speech, wherein the affirmative side will give correction. It's my mistake, I take full responsibility for it. But before we go to the constructive speech, we will now first listen to the rebuttal of the affirmative side. Sorry for the confusion.
So, Mr. Valera said earlier that if we ever adopted a two-party system, there would be lack of choice of the people in terms of politics and governance in the Philippines. However, if we ever adopted the two systems, we will still be democratic. It doesn't mean that we will have a king or be monarchical government. We will be still democratic and have proportional representation of the people, meaning we can still vote. Another thing is the division. So we all know in two-party system there are two distinct ideologies. So in the right side of it, meaning there would be the people would have a direct voice or interest that is aligned in the party that they want to be with. So their issues, their views are being addressed. So meaning for example, the NPA in the Philippines would dissolve because they are being addressed.
Thank you, Representative, for the affirmative side. It's sad that your opinion was cut off, but we need to follow by the rules that you only are given 1 minute. And now that the two teams have concluded in giving their opinions on both positive and negative sides, we will now proceed to the constructive speech, wherein the two opposing teams will give their key points and the other team will ask questions to the ongoing team that's making the speech. So may I go on to the representative from the affirmative side? We now give their key points.
So now we're going to highlight our key points in the affirmative side of if ever we have a two-party system in the Philippine setting. So the first one is that we conclude that the two-party system has some tremendous advantages. So,
Please take note that you are only given 5 minutes for this constructive speech.
so correction, I have said earlier the wrong part of our side. So the key points first is that if the Philippines were able to apply two-system policy wherein there is two major political parties with distinct ideologies, the certain ideology will encompass the interests and views of the people or the constituents as it will be addressed through the platform of the party. Meaning, although there is a partition, the beliefs, the views, issues, and interests are being addressed by each party and it will be heard directly by the higher ups. The second one is that in the two-party system of the Great Britain, for a person to be a voter in women, she needs to be 20 years old, while it is 21 years old for men. Meaning, majority of the voters there have already working or in the process of being employed already, which implies that they are taxpayers that contribute to the country. Now, we all know that one of the major problems here in the Philippines is the quality or qualification of the voters we have. That's why we keep on having incompetent and corrupt both our lead government officials. So if we apply the two-party system in the context of this policy, we could have white voters consisting of mostly working class or middle class. Third is that since there are two contradicting parties in terms of ideologies, there would be competition if we dive deep into this, the competition itself would provide motivation for the whole party to provide better decisions. For example, one party will not just create a policy carelessly because if they ever fail to do so, another party will bloom. So if we apply it to the Philippines, we would have policies that are aligned to the needs and necessities, and it will be beneficial to our fellow Filipinos. So fourth, although there are two parties, through the vote of the people, the only one party will represent the choice of the majority, and its platform will be the one implemented to the constituents. However, if that party failed to do its duties and impose harm to the nation and its people have the power to vote out that party and withdraw its power. Meaning, it promotes stability to the point that fear
Excuse me,
is that
from the positive side. We have questions coming from the negative side. If you need to take care of it.
I think they're only focusing on the majority. So about the minorities? What if they have a better platform, so they have a better idea than those from the majorities? How can you address them?
Your side.
So, of course, we still live in a democratic country, so the vote of the majority will still be the one chosen. However, the vote or the choices or the platform of the minority will still be heard. However, of course, there would be some or more people opposing that, so the majority will still win. That's all. That's our constructive speech.
Do you have any questions, negative side? From the affirmative? Since how many more minutes do we have? We still have 42 seconds, so you can still make your interpolation to their statements. Do you have no more questions? Pertaining to their statements, to the key points that they highlighted during their statement. Yeah.
How can you say that the Philippines can use the two-party system like the British Parliament thinking about the chance that it might reduce the number of different political ideas and not give enough voice to the minority groups.
Verify this. Can you please repeat your question?
How can you say that the Philippines can use a two-party system like the British Parliament, thinking that the chance that it might reduce the number of different political ideas and not give enough voice to the minority groups?
Well, as I have said earlier, here in the Philippines, we have multi-party, right? So, if we ever have two-party system, there would still just two major parties. Although they are contradicting, they represent the ideas of the people, although there is partition. So, now, if we ever compare the economy-wise or political-wise, of the other country like US, Australia, and Canada, they have two-party system they have adopted. Now, if we compare it to the Philippines, we can really see the difference that we are really left behind in terms of those aspects. So, for us, it will be suited for the Philippines to have adapt to the two-party system because we will have a chance to elevate our economy and the quality of the leaders that we have now because we would have a wise voters or rational voters that will be the pillars of our society. So that's all.
So it seems that the two opposing groups are already concluded during the question and answer. And now the 5 minutes has been concluded, and now we will give the negative side a chance to provide their key points why they oppose a two-party system in the Philippine setting. And the affirmative side can also make their interpretations during their defense. So, may I call on the representative from the negative side to please highlight their key points.
So, as what you have said earlier, that one of the advantages of adopting the two-party system in the British Parliament to the Philippines is the political stability. So, we beg to disagree with your idea because we believe that introducing a new system can affect how stable a country is. Because don't you think that if we change our system to a two-party system, if we cannot handle it well, don't you think that it can cause it can trigger the existing tensions to or issues to our country? And don't you think that it might lead to political problems that can cause can also trigger the civil war?
So, Philippines has a history of accommodating a multitude of political ideologies and perspectives, which may we think that is or may be better addressed by a multi-party system. So on that, it allows broader representation of the diverse interests and opinions within the country. So knowing that we are now practicing a multi-party system, how do you think or how ready are we, the normal Filipinos, in terms of changing our government system into a two-party system?
So
So your question is how ready are we to adapt to the two-party system? So as we all know, we Filipinos are well aware that we are really experiencing poverty here in our country. So if we ever have two-party system, which we think is best suited to the Philippines, we would have views or insights directed to the what system we want to be belong with. So meaning we are the issues or problems of the people or the constituents of those parties will be addressed and give a solution. Like as I have said rather, in terms of for example the agricultural, we would have through this party, through their platform, we would have a machineries provided by them, like and another thing is that we all know that our one of the resources are the fisheries. We can still through the platform of them, we would have machineries again to extract those resources from our land and make profit out of it. So that's all. So we have also a question, and I will call on Miss Jimena to take it.
Since you are in the opposing team, are you satisfied with the current system? Since you are in the opposing team, are you satisfied with the current system of the Philippines? So, to answer your question, we are satisfied with the system or the Philippines since we have there are a lot of parties which can represent the different views and opinions of the voters or the citizens of this country. And so, and that's why we're against with the idea that having two parties is not a good idea since we believe that it eliminates the representation of 100% the 100% representation of personal ideas since they have only two choices and they have no other choice or they cannot choose. They have different options to choose which can represent their opinions and ideas that can help the Philippines.
So I have another question. Economy-wise, how satisfied are you here in the Philippines?
Economy-wise, of course, we are not satisfied with the economy that we are facing right now. But I think it's not because of the two-party system. I think it's not that's so much related. But it's about how the government and the president manage to govern the economy. So I think it's not that so much related.
Please, two things. Please, if you're going to ask questions, make sure that it's related to the two-party system suited best in the Philippine setting. Please do not ask unnecessary questions because it may lead to confusion. So the next question, please relate it to the question: is the two-party system best suited in the Philippine setting?
So according to your statement, the problem here is not the system, but it is the government mission. So in the two-party system, as I have said earlier, we could have, since they are mostly in the Britain, the voters there are mostly middle class and working class, and if we ever adopted to that, we could have a voters that are well informed, well aligned to their views, to the betterment of the country. So our take to that is that if we ever have two-party system, we could have also voters that will elect the competent and good enough leaders to, elevate the economy of our country.
Please, I'm so sorry to cut you all, but the 5 minutes has been included. So now each team is given a chance to make their conclusion. The representative from the youth side is coming on.
Summing up, if the Philippines adopted a two-party system from the British Parliament, it could cause serious problems. This include not giving enough voice to different political ideas and minority groups. And it may also ignore the needs of specific region. There are also danger of only few people having too much power, limiting chances for regular folks and potentially making political families even stronger. Before deciding on the system, we are really need to think carefully about these issues. Keeping the Philippines' diverse political scene in mind is crucial to making sure our democracy stays fair and strong.
Any more conclusion coming from the negative side? If not, we will now proceed to the conclusion of the affirmative side.
We, the members of Group 1, concluded that the two-party system has some tremendous advantage to consider. It provides a clear majority in almost every election, encourages centrism, and limits the number of radical ideas that enter the national discussion. Having those advantages is key for us Filipinos to have peace and effective governance. Despite of the criticism, we are still going to pursue that two-party system that is best suited to the Philippines. We can deny that it has flaws, but surely it will improve when it's already implemented. Same with Britain. In various contexts, we can say that a two-party system can still manage to foster the country, fostering collaboration and finding common ground between the two parties and contribute to more inclusive and effective governance. Encouraging bipartisan cooperation, prioritizing national interests over partisan agendas, and promoting open dialogue can lead to better outcomes for the country as a whole. We have one piece of advice we would like to give. Don't vote for someone who less evil. Because if you are voting for lesser evil, then you are still not voting your conscience. That is the ultimate problem that we can find in the two-party system. You are almost always forced to compromise on what you believe on some level, despite the potential benefits that might come your way. That's all. Thank you.
So now that the debate has been concluded, I must say that it is a very exciting debate that I witnessed today. And please congratulate yourself. Now this marks the end of the debate between Group 1 and Group 3. The next debate will be presented shortly. And also, there's a link provided that the audience and the other group will vote whether if your group did very well during the debate, but do not vote for your own group. For example, Group 1 do not vote Group 1. You must vote Group 2, Group 3, Group 3 to Group 4, and Group 4 to Group 4. Do you have any more questions regarding this debate? If not,